Friends, this is the final installment of our series on Amoris Laetitia. I hope you find time to read the post-synodal exhortation of Pope Francis as it offers a wealth of insights. In Chapter 6, Pope Francis suggests that different communities devise more practical and effective initiatives that respect both the teachings of the Church and local problems and needs, because as we know, experiences vary from one another, and one cannot simply prescribe a general solution even if we hold common principles. We have to discern the nature of the challenges and the needs of families in our communities that we may be of real help to them. Nonetheless, the Holy Father thinks that Christian families are the principal agents of the family apostolate through their joy-filled witness as domestic churches. Thus, pastoral care for families must be improved. In addition, Pope Francis suggests that we intensify the preparation of couples for marriage. We must help them understand the dignity and beauty of marriage. Also, the Pope reminds the couples, remember the couples, not to be bothered about how grand, festive the celebration must be. What is important is the love you share, strengthened and sanctified by grace, he says. It is important also for the Church to accompany these couples in their married and family life, especially in the first years of marriage. The Pope also raises his concern for the education of children in Chapter 7. The Holy Father says, parents need to consider what they want their children to be exposed to. And only if we devote time to our children, speaking of important things with simplicity and concern, and finding healthy ways for them to spend their time, will we be able to shield them from harm. So, dear parents, do we know what things our children are fond of? What do they read or watch or listen to? Do you know who their friends are and the people they communicate with? I hope you show interest in the things that interest your children, and let them know whether these are good for them or not. It's always a matter of dialogue and concern. In Chapter 8, the Pope rallies the Church to accompany with attention and care the weakest of her children who show signs of a wounded and troubled love by restoring in them hope and confidence. Our task is to heal and never to condemn or throw stones at the wounded persons. This is so apt in our celebration of the Jubilee of Mercy. And why not? Our Lord Himself did not come only for the righteous, but for the wounded too, that He might bring healing. Finally, in Chapter 9, Pope Francis reminds us, marital spirituality is a spirituality of the bond in which the divine love dwells. Our dear couples, do others recognize in you, the communion and love of the Trinity? Let us work on it. Another thing, he says, all family life is a shepherding in mercy. How do we feed one another? Do we search for the lost sheep of the family? How do I protect the weak sheep of the family? So there you go, brothers and sisters. These are some points from Amoris Laetitia. There are more worthwhile topics than we were able to cover in this series. Our series is meant to encourage you to read and study Amoris Laetitia.